Hello, world. Talking about the coincidence. There's no coincidences. This is like a recap from the other video. And what I found out is that we think that it might be a coincidence because we don't know how it's coming. Let me explain. So, you could have been thinking of a person weeks ago, and then you forgot that you was thinking about that person. And then all of a sudden, this person calls or you see that person, and then you're like, that's a coincidence. But you was thinking about that person. Another example, you could have been thinking or having a good vibration, feeling good, and things has shifted to bring this into your life. Like you're helping somebody and you've done this and you gave somebody some money, and then something good happens to you later and you're like, oh, that's a coincidence. Another example, you could have been having a bad vibration or thinking about something that might have not resonated with you or frustrated you. And then later on, something happens a week ago or a month ago, and you're like, oh man, I wasn't expecting that to happen. I'm saying that to say this. Sometimes when things don't happen immediately, like if I do this, then you get a quick return. When it's a quick return, you'll be like, oh, I knew that was coming, but there's really no time in this universe aspect. So you could have been projecting good energy or had a low vibration, and things has sort of came around to you and you're like, what, I don't get it. Or man, that's tend to be a coincidence or some unexplained event in your mind because you've done something previous and it's just now coming back around, and you have maybe forgot about it or something like that. Sometimes we do good deeds and good things and help others later, in the previous, and it's starting to come back around. And it's like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. But I'm saying that regardless of the timing of it, it still was you pushed out. It still was you doing something to cause this effect to come back around to you. If that makes it better to understand the coincident aspect and to further elaborate on the cause and effect. Just because you do something today and you don't see it tomorrow or later on that day doesn't mean that it doesn't have that effect. You still push that energy out there, and it might be a second before it comes back around to you. But on the positive aspect, the more you keep pushing that energy out, the more of it just keeps circling back to you. So you have that flow and that constant rotation of good things happening. And you might have forgot about or, disregarded something that you've done in the past. And when I say past, I'm not saying years and years ago, and it could be, but maybe recently, like months ago, and you might have forgot about what you did, and things are coming back and funneling back to you, and it might seem like, oh, I was thinking about that person 2 months ago, and oh, that's a coincidence, you know? So try to understand it on that aspect. Just because it doesn't immediately show up and all that stuff doesn't mean it's not coming back around to you. You know, keep pushing out that good vibe and that good energy, and maybe what happened months ago starts to come back, or weeks ago starts to come back, and you keep pushing that good, and it just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming, and you just have a good flow of positive things happening to you because of the cause from previous things that you've done. And the effect is a lot of good things are starting to come back to you in good ways, and it's starting to show up, you know? So, yeah, back on elaborating on what we perceive as coincidences. There's no coincidences. It's something that you might have done, or something, or feeling that you might have pushed out that is coming back around. Hello, world.